Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. We want to do a quick video talking about, would you conceal carry a level 2 holster, or would you always stick with a level 1? I have had thoughts on this for a long time, the way I stand, the way I think on it. But recently, we have a instructor coming to our church for a church security team who I've talked to, and I respect greatly. I respect his many years in law enforcement. But he said that he thinks that even if the church is doing conceal carry, we should carry a level 2 holster. And I have some issue with that. I'm not being disrespectful. I'm not questioning. I've yet to hear his complete argument and what he's going to say, what he's not going to say. So there may be something that I'm missing. Okay, guys? So I'm not trying to degrade people that think this way. But, and I'm going to be very careful about not being derogatory toward these people. But, he wants us to carry level 2, even when we're conceal carrying on the security team. And these are regular guys. We're not getting paid to do this. It's all voluntary. I'm of the opinion, that I'm there and I'm going to protect my family. I'm going to carry a gun whether a church likes it or not, right? I mean, I'm going to carry a gun. And if I can't carry a gun into church, I don't trust the other people on the security team nearly as much as I trust myself and my own training. A lot of the guys won't train near as much as I do, and some people out there will train way more than I do. I'm not saying I'm the best, but I know what I'm willing to risk for my family. I don't know what they're willing to risk for my kids, okay? So if I'm one of those people that if I can't carry a gun into church to protect my kids, then I don't want to be at that church. I would rather stay home and teach my kids the Word of God from home than I would go to church and be open for an active shooter to come in and hurt my kids. That's just the way I personally feel. That's another video in and of itself. Let's talk about conceal carry versus conceal carry level 1 versus level, say, 2, 3, or 4. This being a level 2 holster. This is what I usually carry, guys. Is this right here? I'm gonna try to be fast, and I made a video on this, and the audio messed up, so I'm remaking it. So this is my second attempt. This is what I normally would carry, and this type of holster is outside the waistband. I carry it under a button-up shirt, long button-up shirt that's kind of loose but not too loose. Or I'll carry it in the wintertime sometimes with a vest over a button-up shirt that's tucked in. So I try to look nice, but still be able to carry this and conceal it very well and not allow anybody to get to the gun while I'm carrying it, or see the gun while I'm carrying it. This right here, this holster allows the gun to hold close to your body, and I want to show you real quickly that this level 2 holster, which is one of the more popular options, Black Hawk, not a cheap holster, is nearly twice as thick, guys. I mean, look at all the printing you're going to do compared to this holster with this holster. I mean, you're adding an extra, with this button here and this mechanism and this big, large paddle type contraption, you're adding a lot of thickness to this gun, to this setup, I should say, not to the gun, but to the setup that you don't have with this. But that's one of the main reasons why I don't like it. But another thing is, this is the kind of holster that will not allow the gun to drop if you hold it upside down. Yeah, you could probably shake it and knock the gun out, but you'd have to really be trying to get the gun out. And when this is close to your body, it's actually, the gun is setting up against your side, up against your rib cage. If you're slightly chubby at all, even, it's definitely going to be stuck in there. So you almost have to lean to the left to draw your gun out. You'd have to lean this way in order to get it. So it kind of forms its own second form of retention, because it keeps the gun close to your body and it keeps it more concealed, and less printing is done with this holster. So I almost have to lean to the left to draw my gun out of this holster. And if I lean to the right, you would have to daggum know jiu-jitsu very well to pull this gun out of the holster. If I'm leaning to the right and wrestling somebody, if I'm kind of trying to protect this gun or put my elbow down over the gun, it'd be really hard to get to my gun and pull it out, especially being that it's underneath my clothes, and you'd have to shred my clothes off or pull my clothes off just to get to the gun. So this makes the most sense to me, guys. I mean, I could say more, but I don't want to go too long. This holster, like I said, is twice as thick. I don't recommend level 2 holsters with a button here, because people that are not trained, or even if they are trained, if they're under stress, they start tensing up this trigger finger muscle to push this button and get that gun out. As they come out, they could pull the trigger on the way out, guys. And that's not what we want to happen. So we definitely do not want that to happen. So I don't suggest buttons over here. That's just my personal opinion. Some people are okay with it. You got to make that decision. So this system is just, it just makes the gun too thick. It works well, but if you've got clothes over this or a vest over this, you know, that vest or that shirt or whatever, or even your undershirt can get in the way of this button, and you'll have a hard time pushing the button. You know, it could snag the button and keep you from pressing down. I also find that most of these holsters, they kind of want to snag too. Like, they're just not as smooth. I'm not saying they're bad, but they're just not as smooth as a regular fit holster that you get in most of these level 1 holsters. So that can slow down your draw. But if the clothes get in the way, or you miss the button, or you don't press the button enough, you can add anywhere from 1/10 of a second to double your draw time. And a 3-second draw, somebody that gets out of their car with an AR to come into the church quickly and sees you on the front porch or whatever, a 3-second draw time is certain death, I would think. So that doesn't make sense to me if you're increasing your draw speed potentially significantly under stress when you're wearing clothes over this and you've got to hit a button and it's bulky, it's stiff, it's hard to pull it out. So guys, that's my thoughts on this, and that's just some of many. So for concealed carry, guys, would you ever carry level 2? Why would you carry level 2? Do you see my point, the positives and negatives to carrying a level 2 over a level 1? I just want to know what you guys think. I think ex-cops, ex-military is going to probably lean toward this for any kind of carry. I don't know of any cops that off-duty carries a level 2 holster. I mean, I may be wrong, but I would say most cops off-duty carry guns, but I don't think they carry level 2 holsters. I may be wrong. Or do you think a level 1 is plenty good enough if it's a well-designed holster and it keeps the gun tight and it keeps it close to the body and it prints less? I think your gun channels like Active Self-Protection, Carry Trainer is probably going to think that this is the way to go. Something like this or inside the waistband. And your ex-cops, trainers, scenario trainers that are ex-military, I think their training there is going to bias them toward this setup when they're training. I don't completely understand it. They can say all they want to. Well, what if a boy tries to grab your gun? Well, that's why you're wearing concealed carry appropriate attire. Is why you're thinking about what you're wearing. That's why you're wearing a holster that keeps the gun high to where it's well above your waistline, and it keeps your gun close to your body to where you can protect it. You know, that's the whole point of true concealed carry gear, not duty gear. This is not concealed carry friendly. This is very much duty gear, and there is not a duty holster that I know of that's concealed carry friendly. I could be wrong, but very few duty-minded holsters are concealed carry friendly. And I'm just going to be honest with you guys, it's hard for me to fathom. What do you guys think? Should a security team at church carry concealed level 1 or level 2? If they're open carrying, I'm all for this, 100%. Maybe level 2, level 3, level 4 possibly, open carry at church. Concealed carry, I lean toward this pretty strongly for a bunch of safety reasons. You know, they can say, I think that the guys are going to argue, this trainer is going to argue, or ex-cops or military are going to argue that somebody can grab your gun. But guys, I have 3 kids. I teach Sunday school. I carry every week. I've never had somebody try to grab my gun out or even see my gun. I've had, you know, friends of mine come up to me and give me a hug or whatever at church. And yeah, they have felt my gun and go, oh, I know what that is or something, because they know me pretty good. So that has happened. But as far as just people being able to see my gun or reach for my gun or grab my gun, kids, teenagers, adults, I've teach the youth class for years, never had a teenager even remotely joke about grabbing my gun. It's because it was hidden. It's wearing the right attire. I don't see the point in carrying something beyond this for church security. If you have a massive church, you might need to pay your security team. You probably should pay your security team if your church has got a huge budget, and you should buy them nice holsters like this or nicer than this, and you give them the proper training to use this. But one training session is not enough for somebody to use this. So what do you think, guys? Like and subscribe. Please leave comments below. Tell me how you think. Let's talk about it. God bless. Have a great day.